A return to form for SK Telecom T1 on the red side, and a hopeful showing of greatness here for Team Liquid. Faker back on a world stage here at MSI 2019 with his new look team, new players around him, faces you have seen before, facing now against Team Liquid.
Exactly. Team Liquid, the team North America built for international success. Steve trying to make upgrades even after back-to-back North American LCS title victories was all made for this moment. Adding Jensen, adding Core JJ, definitely has strengthened the team overall, but they need to provide results on the international stage.
Speaking of Jensen, he's actually chosen to run the Comet in this matchup up against the Akali rather than the Phase Rush. A little bit surprising considering how mobile the Akali is and how devastating she can be at level 6, but it looks like he's going to go for a little bit more of a laning rune choice, try to poke that Akali out and have a little bit more pressure in the early game.
Instead he puts the Trinket Ward down, they would be able to stab TL if they came down after the red buff, but instead, I believe they actually know that TL is going for this little brush play right here, and Mata and Core JJ just facing off.
Now, in the early game, very important to have early information on enemy jungler pathing. As you can see, there is a ward here by SK Telecom on the blue buff of Team Liquid, so they know for sure that Xmithy starting on the bottom side with no leash on the Jarvan. And it kind of takes away the potency of the level 2 red buff Jarvan gank. So Xmithy is just going to farm up the Krubs afterwards. Both junglers will try and track each other in the early game. We've had this magnifying glass on these two players.
You mentioned how unlikely level 2 Jarvan gank is, but sussing out that ward and Tropic is going right away. He'll get in a brush, I think. He's there. Okay, where's the wave gonna meet? Core JJ gonna try to not give away this information. Mata gonna get knocked up there. Here's all the damage output. They're gonna have the stun available. He's flashing with a flash follow, and Xmithy grabs first blood against SKT, but Clit, he's already here. He sussed it out too, and the trade kill comes in. Now on a double, it's low on health. They find a stun. Core JJ's gotta run. He's a bit low as well, but the aftershock that he triggered himself keeps him alive. Under the turret goes Teddy. Can't quite find that kill, but everyone gets away.
Flash for flash there as Teddy wants to get a little bit more. And Team Liquid do come away with the first blood, but Clit is there to answer, and SKT get one for themselves.
Ends up being jungler for support. So while, as you say, Kobe, it is first blood to the side of Team Liquid, I feel like SKT are the ones walking away as the happier team. The fact that Clit picks up that kill, secures himself the Scuttle Crab, and now is pathing towards bot side once again, maybe looking for a cheeky play onto a level 1 double lift.
Nice Pierce on a double lift. He's level 2, has some sustain.
Core JJ's walking down the lane, but he won't get there in time.
It's no flash for double. They're trying to run over to his teammate. He's going to hit and he doesn't have Devour yet. It's a level 1 Core JJ. They get the chase down to the turret, and all this farm is missing for Team Liquid.
And just as we were speaking about it, Clit, he makes the path down. He recognizes no summoner spell available for double lift after he teleports back into the lane. Means that he's going to be put at a huge deficit very early on into the game.
Again, this is the way that Clit has changed SK Telecom for the better. The more aggressive look after the play, repeat ganks on bottom side, level 2 under the turret. Here's how it all started out though. Xmithy snuck into the bush, they're able to get the first blood, and then they chase with no vision onto Teddy into the river long enough for Clit to get there. Lee Sin answers back. Getting the flash off of double lift meant he did not have it here, and that's why the repeat gank does work out for Clit. Gets in there with the red buff, and SK Telecom gets some plates off of the bottom turret in addition to the extra kill.
And I love the decision making from Teddy as well. In the moment, rather than focusing the jungler and trying to keep his AD carry alive, he immediately goes onto double lift, knowing that with the Hail of Blades being a Kalista at level 1, he can force the Varus out, and with the arrival of Clit, they would be likely able to turn this into their favor. So very good, quick decision making from the AD carry of SKT.
Expected bottom lane focus. We expected a lot to be determined by these junglers early on, and definitely has set them up for success on the side of SK Telecom. Khan also invading to get some more jungle vision for the side of SKT to continue to track Xmithy.
Xmithy kills a ward, so he's known to be on the bottom side of mid right here, possibly in that brush. Puts the Trinket Ward himself to try to track Lee Sin, and first recalls come in from the mid laners. Top laners back recently as well. No Sheen done for Impact, couldn't put that one quite together. He's facing off some extra ability power and a control ward, so that Khan can keep himself safe, pushing in this top side.
And top side definitely will benefit a lot if that Ocean Drake does go over. First dragon will be an Ocean Dragon. That just puts even more importance on who's going to win the bottom side early fights. because that's such a good Dragon 4 gangplank to be able to farm back up, back off and regenerate, keep them healthy on the top side. But with SKT having the early advantage and them having the Kalista Galio, it's like they're in a very secure spot.
Well, now looking at the next play as Faker and Clid come through. They spot a couple of wards. They'll knock those down and darken out some of this vision. This Ocean Drake, you can see all the aggressive wards down right here. Clid does have kind of control of his bottom river right now. As Smithy is around, but going to be walking through wards while doing so.
It is actually being started off right now for Clid. Notice that they do have priority in bot, but the mid is actually in a fairly even state. So I think this is a little bit dangerous for Clid.
Good smite. Bottom scuttle's pretty big, and you can see now Impact getting chunked a bit low as Khan is about out of mana. That's going to be relevant, but he's doing a good job of kind of pushing him around. Cannon Barrage now grabbed by both top laners, and we'll see if there's a fight somewhere else. Both top laners can join with globals.
Yeah, fun little fact too, Khan was able to steal the Gangplank ultimate before Impact himself hits level 6. Sometimes in lane, you can get it, the enemy's ult before they even get it.
Yep.
If you push up the minion wave like that. In the end, Impact also hitting level 6 though, with no action occurring.
I love that Clid is still hanging around the bot side of the map because a lot of summoner spells still on cooldown. So with those up and available, Clid can look for another potential play, but also he wants to be aware in the event of like Smithy looking to try and find an opportunity back into the bot side of the map.
Yeah, we talked about how good that could be for a Gangplank matchup. Now it's going to be on the side of SK Telecom. So Khan with the Silas could be feeling very good. Akali can back off, heal back up in the Shroud with addition to an early Vamp Scepter. There's just so much sustain on the side of SK Telecom. They're feeling very good about those early moments we saw on the bottom side of the map.
Yep, absolutely huge for SKT. A 7-minute Ocean Drake means so much for winning a game. It makes the laning phase almost just fruitless for TL to try to get any harass down. We can watch the bot lane continue to fight on back and forth. Doublelift licking his wounds within 15 CS after a pretty catastrophic early start. That death under his turret was very rough, and even now, look at that, poked out yet again, and Doublelift gonna lose even more this farm. A 20 CS difference, and plate number 2 goes to SKT in the bottom lane.
But also a 2-level difference. The fact that Teddy's already level 6 is so devastating to the bot lane of Team Liquid. Only level 4 for Doublelift, can't even approach the wave under his own tower. The deficit continues to mount towards the bot side of the map. Fortunately, mid is going well for Team Liquid, top lane also going well.
We aren't even at 8 minutes into the game, and it's already, on a 1-to-1 basis, Teddy up over 1,000 gold over Doublelift. Kalista getting to the Blade of the Ruin King so quickly here is going to be insane.
Really big stuff right there. The overall gold lead is 1,000 itself, so most of that lead is encapsulated by the bottom lane, but since that's where TL wants to play their advantages, certainly kind of hurts them more than it might hurt other teams right here. SKT having a very good early game, and I think that lead will stretch somewhat again because of that Ocean Drake. It is a really important point in this early game. Clid continues to farm, level 6 for him. Smithy the same. Both their red smites available. Warrior on the one side, but not the center hook on the other, so also a power spike for the 2-kill SKT jungler. And once again, goes into that jungle, looks for something to fight, looks for something to take, and maybe he'll find himself Smithy. The flash out of the Rise first. All the damage is there. He flashes away. The Cannon Barrage sets it up, and a shutdown goes over to Impact, but now Smithy will drop as well. Mata claiming that kill.
Yep, they're able to get the counter kill once again. Impact did use the Gangplank ultimate. Khan not using anything from the top side for Silas, but Mata roaming over does mean they're able to answer it back. The kill, though, going to Mata is not quite where they wanted it. They would much rather have Faker on the Akali, getting to that Gunblade quicker.
Also, I love the reaction speed there from Jensen. What was a ward hop into flash into kick against an Akali and Lee Sin. The fact that he could get the root out, get the shield out, and then dash out of that situation, and then allow Smithy to then turn the gank around was a really big boon for Team Liquid, so that the support picks up the kill versus Impact on the gank.
Yeah, Team Liquid setting up the counter very well. They were definitely ready for it. As you can see, Smithy was waiting there for the counter gank, plus Impact very ready to throw out the ultimate. However, in the end, Faker and SKT still get the extra kill. Here's another look at it. With the Jarvan ult holding him in place with the Cataclysm, Gangplank ultimate did finish it off. But Faker having the second charge of execute damage for Akali is able to pick up some extra money.
And
this bottom side
lane. Yep.
is
This is exactly what you want to see. This is so good out of SK Telecom T1. Clid back down here. Plate number 4 is gone. First turret just past 10 minutes in. They are smashing through bottom lane, and it's a level of play I think people expected out of Teddy and Mata. They were so good in the LCK. They're such good players, Clid as well, and they are completely handling this 2-on-2 or 3-on-3 or 3-on-2.
Yeah, I think so much of the credit should go over to Clid for getting down there in time. You know, Team Liquid did chase up into the river after getting the first kill, and that just opened it up, you know, for the counter-attack. Since that moment, it has been all bottom side. Clid returning for the second kill was the backbreaker, right?
Yeah.
So I think just so much credit should be given over to the jungle.
Now, to be fair to Team Liquid, something that they often do is invest resources into Doublelift. And in their game versus Invictus Gaming, even though the bot lane was in a deficit in that situation, remember that Doublelift was 2,000 gold behind Jackie Love, yet somehow he managed to claw his way back in. And a lot of that is players like Impact and Jensen handing over their lanes and their farm to invest resources into this carry player.
I think one of the biggest things that people have underestimated for this tournament is Impact, and his play so far has been exceptional. Him getting that kill off of the mid lane is very good for Team Liquid. He's going to try and get to that Trinity Force, but Clid is bottom again, and they're teleporting in.
He's time for his third or fourth gank down here. Gallia showing up as well, trying to get the team to safety. A nice grab there by CoreJJ. He'll probably lose his life, and indeed he will do so. Faker now on the board for SKT's fourth kill. Oh, the root could be enough. Khan down to under 100 HP, just gets away from the turret.
At what point do we have to call it cyberbullying? Everything is being invested from SKT to shut
the flash. He might have the damage out, but one more auto will do him in. The Kingmaker heal, the King Slayer, and puts him back with the Varus. Still traded out. Nice piercing arrow. Doublelift does trade one in, but it's still 2-for-1 long term for SKT.
Yep, they used the Gangplank ultimate for that as well. Impact tried to push up the lane on the top side and has gotten one play off the turret for everyone investing on the bottom side. Faker going in on him though.
This is going to be a pretty difficult fight. Impact has a level lead, but ulti lives when Faker has the cooldowns. He's going to land, eats the oranges, tries to run away. Will the double dashes come in? There's the first one. Faker could go for a little bit more damage, but no, has already burned the full charge of the ultimate.
Just a friendly exchange between old teammates here as Faker says hello to Impact at the top side once again. Gives him a little taunt.
Beautiful stuff right now from the side of SKT. Really trying to snowball where they have the advantage, and that whole bot side play, a large part of it kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier, where they don't want to allow Doublelift and CoreJJ to come back into this game at all. They invest the Galio ultimate, CoreJJ sacrifices his life for the sake of Doublelift, can't even stealing away the Varus ultimate for a potential outplay, but he gets rooted up by Doublelift's ulti, which means he takes a lot of tower shots. He doesn't realize he's sitting on top of a ward, allowing Xmithy to go for this all-in, but the sustain that he gets from his W allowed him to buy enough time to actually turn that fight around and trade for a 1-for-1.
And that is kind of the drawback of the professional play Cinder Hulk Jarvan, where we always see these full tank Jarvans going in for a counter kill opportunity there, flashing, getting the ultimate. There's no AD to back up the burst damage. If you can't burst down Silas,
yeah,
everyone's very well aware how annoying that heal can be.
Rank 2 Kingslayer, pretty solid right there, and overall it was a trade of kills, and I guess best thing for TL, Doublelift did pick up the kill. You mentioned, of course, a little while ago that Impact has been huge, and he is, I think, right now, the one big difference maker for the TL side. He's up gold on his opponent. He's the richest person on his team, less than Teddy. Teddy's absurdly rich now and on an item and a half, but it might just be the now Trinity Force completed Gangplank that is a difference maker for Team Liquid.
The big thing for me is, while I think Impact has been very good, like when I look at his Aatrox performance yesterday and I realize that he's sitting at 3-1 on this Aatrox, he couldn't really convert it into a big win. Now, admittedly, he was playing up against a level 17 Silas on caps, but my eye kind of fall on him now where the pressure is on his shoulders. He is the one with the gold lead. He is playing a Gangplank that can be that carry. So can he be the big carry for his team outside of normally it's double?
Players fight each other again. Silas burns through the Gangplank ultimate. He doesn't get a kill out of that one as Impact walks away, but the Rift Herald is summoned bot to give Impact even more money if he can shepherd this in.
Yeah, the problem is he's 2v1 right now. If you're not close enough to the turret when the Rift Herald hits, nobody gets money for those plates. Xmithy going mid instead doesn't help him usher up that Rift Herald, and Shelly goes down.
Well, 100 gold for killing the Rift Herald, 25 for killing it back. It's, I guess, technically still a goal lead for TL, but that is an objective that means almost nothing as Impact and well, couldn't push in any farther. You can see this early game. Yeah, 5 turrets through the bottom lane, 2 elsewhere. Now attempted play, kicks him into the wall, pushes in for a bit more damage. Now here comes Impact's own ulti, and it's going to be Wafer, and that's it.
Yeah, trade of ultimates goes down there on the bottom side. Meanwhile, on the top side, turret about to fall for Team Liquid. Jensen defends against Faker.
kind of looking at the minimap right now and seeing where the allocation of vision is being invested, and you'll notice that towards the bot side of the map, there are these 3 control wards that are actually being spotted out by SKT. They are aware, and a lot of it is to just help protect towards the bot side of the map, to enable impact so that you can continue to push without a tower. But unfortunately for Team Liquid, they tried to make that play towards mid. That allowed SKT to then get vision up towards top side, and that's why this top tower is slowly being chipped down, and why Team Liquid are now forced to play on the defense.
And I think the biggest wild card here for Team Liquid that they need to be able to use is the Tahm Kench Abyssal Voyage. CoreJJ trying to affect those side lanes as their split pushers attempt to keep the minion waves in place is the surprise factor. Mata on the Galio is the same on the other side for SK Telecom, and that's what you have to keep your eyes on.
All right, well, looking now at the state of the game as Ocean Drake number 2 spawns in a minute and a half, and Mata just holds the mid wave as we wait for that to push in. You can see Team Liquid really unable to play aggressively whatsoever. None of these players willing to cross the river in any of the 3 lanes. It is SKT with slow and controlled style, trademark Korean League of Legends, trademark SKT, and they push the ward slowly in and try to find incremental objectives across this game.
And I'm noticing some of these big item spikes coming out for SKT. The Gunblade now finished for the Akali. Blade of the Ruin King plus QSS for Teddy means that SKT could actually start to look for fights right about now. With the Ocean Drake about to spawn in about a minute, I wouldn't be surprised if they want to try and force Team Liquid into a situation where they're saying, come, challengers, fighters, because we're more than ready to take you in a 5v5.
Jumping in, looking to push everything down. This top turret is 1 auto attack away from dead, and indeed it will fall. And now potential dive. It is 4 versus 2. But only the Gromp going to be assaulted, and even that's not going to be hit too hard. So Team Liquid able to walk back onto this one, but SKT still on 2 Drakes and 2 turrets to nothing on TL side. A summoner teleport used to get back into the mid lane. Make sure that stays safe. A quick steal on the Varus ultimate, and just in time for when that Drake spawn might indeed happen. Con level 11, ready to go for this fight, as SKT set up around this bottom river.
Yeah, SK Telecom, with all the outer turrets destroyed now, have so much extra pressure. They can easily set up for this dragon. Again, Kalista level 11 with the large gold lead kind of ensures this dragon. Clid might even just do it himself, or Kalista holds mid.
Long team has control, and you can see how far Khan is pushing in the bottom lane. Impact now walked over to defend him, but you can't come through bottom lane anymore. Mid lane temporarily, okay, that's a bit more equal as the waves are a bit dead, but those are the only 2 spots you can come from. Wards all over the jungle right now, so Clid is indeed safe to soil this. Khan even walks by just to make sure as he sees Impact through the wave out, and indeed, no one is around. It's very, very safe. Clid going to pick up the 3rd straight Ocean Drake, and they're knocking them down basically on spawn right now. Stacking up, in the second mountain. Going to be up in 6 minutes. Almost finds that flash taunt, not quite yet though. But here comes Fate's call around towards double lift. He's going to burn his own summoner spells. Of course, no flash available anymore. Can't get away from this one. Nice kill picked up by the 2-on-1. And now, oh, they get the stop. That's not going to be the ulti over the wall. CoreJJ going to be trying to be brought over, but nice flash kick. Gets Jensen out as well. It should be 3 unanswered kills. Barons, thankfully for TL, not available yet.
Pick after pick after pick. Poor positioning from the side of Team Liquid immediately gets punished from the side of SKT, and now they find themselves another 3 kills. As you rightly said, Freak, there was no Baron available, but SKT, they're looking for more.
After yesterday's Sona Taric game that gave very little opportunity for Teddy and Mata to create plays, putting them on Kalista and Galio, two of the best playmaking champions from that bottom side, is certainly a correction that SK Telecom have made that is paying off. Just look at it here. Mata flashing in, gets the flash from double lift, then they follow it up with the Kalista ultimate and chase down CoreJJ, who was trying to get the Devour, but now we're back out on the map.
It's Impact low on health, but staying alive, but a damage comes through. Khan now has Cataclysm, not going to be able to pop that one, but kills off the wards, and again, it is Team Liquid forced to run away consistently in this game as the gold lead stretches to over 3,500. TL still yet to find a neutral objective. Can't even find a recall in peace.
And honestly, these positional plays were actually mistakes that we saw sometimes from Doublelift during the final, where he would overstay in lane, he would take a greedy path, and often one of the big ways in which they compensated for that was CoreJJ on this Tahm Kench, but because they were separated and because of how quickly SKT were able to react, he ended up losing his life, and you can't afford to be making these mistakes when you're in this kind of a situation. He needs to be focusing in the way in which he did against Invictus Gaming, catching the waves on a side lane, slowly trying to close that goal gap so that you can reach those 2 items and start being relevant in the game. Because for now, SKT have full control over all 3 waves, they have full river control, and Team Liquid can't even cross the river right now.
Now they can at least clear waves in front of their turret. That is what TL has been given for now. So unfortunate for them, they don't really have that same sort of hyper carry that Varus is a decent team fighter, but it's not like you're scaling up to a 5-item Jinx or a 5-item Kai'Sa. There is no obvious, easy late game button you can press and just wait out for, so it is going to require quite a bit of effort for TL to edge their way back into this one.
Again, if we're looking towards the late game, I would turn my eyes towards Impact. A well-placed barrel chain is kind of the hope, and that big explosion would be the thing that they would want to try and turn it. But in the mid lane,
knock up into a tie and a cataclysm that will find Core JJ's, but double back out, and under the turret is actually a lot of slows and a fair bit of damage as the turret gets lower and lower. A piercing arrow finds Teddy over the wall, goes Impact, forcing a flash out of Khan. This actually could be a fight. Cataclysm, what's he gonna find? Nothing just yet. Finally into the back line, and quick Zonia's now for Mata, now into the back line. Devil's gonna run out of health. Nice pick up there by Faker onto the board. Galio joins him well, make that 3 kills already. Even Mata stays alive. He just barely burns down to the passive, but it is still several kills in favor of SKT. 1 barrel lands. Will there be enough damage to knock down Khan as they run away? Looks like it's SKT able to pick up 3 kills, lose only 1, and answer right back in. Make it a 4th for them as they lose their own 2nd member. Now Jensen alone running away from the turret. Not going to find that last little bit of a dive. SKT, though, winning that fight 4-2.
Yeah, and SK Telecom retain control of Summoner's Rift. They can push in the mid lane right now. Oh, they're actually...
Teddy might have it. He finds another slow. He can keep going. One more run might kill him, but he gets another shield. Well played by Jensen. That's Clid over the wall. That's 5 kills in a row. A spree for the jungler. 5-1-6.
Beautiful stuff from SKT. They secure themselves the final outer tower, and this was just Team Liquid once again overstaying in the mid lane. They utilized the Gangplank ultimate to buy some time, and because they couldn't get the kill onto Double Lift, it looked like the SKT had overextended. But notice here, keep your eyes on Xmithy. Goes for the flash knockup, fails it onto Teddy. He's then in a situation where the rest of Team Liquid cannot follow up, and Faker has free access to the backline.
Yeah, because SK Telecom have had control of the river for so long, there are 2 control wards on that top side that allow Faker to just walk up to the backline. He jumps in, assassinates Double Lift, and gives Galio a good spot. Then the turn here, as Team Liquid try and chase them back to clean up a couple of kills, results in a 1-for-1 until Teddy's able to step forward, gets the slow down, and then Clid.
And it's so impressive. He got several rend resets off the minions while also hitting Jensen, getting more damage there. The Clid fall, of course, easy as well. But the Callista mechanics, to me, were actually the highlight of that last kill, that he was able to find piercing into autos every time getting the rend with the reset.
And I feel like what we're seeing from SKT right now is what many fans expected. The slow, calm, calculated play. Notice how once they got that early lead, they didn't try to snowball it by like forcing loads of fights, being overzealous. They were calm, they were calculated, and now we're 23 minutes into the game. They have a 6,000 gold lead, and they've taken all the outer towers. So now you'll start to see them push their vision even deeper into the enemy jungle, suffocate Team Liquid from any of their resources, and kind of force them into a situation where they face check the Baron or face check an area of the map that they don't have control of.
And honestly, with a double Mountain Drake setup for SK Telecom, I don't expect this Baron to last very long. They've held control wards over this top river for the majority of the game. They'll replenish them in the fountain and go back to replace.
And look at the score lines kind of down the line here for SKT. Faker definitely online 4-0-2, got a bounty on his head, a CS lead and about 10,000 gold. Teddy, of course, the recipient of all the early game pressure. Clid, kill leader on the squad. It's a full court press here in SKT as there are a couple of wards river right now. You know that next step is knocking those things down. Double Mountain Drake, that Baron will drop quickly as Clid will find impact. Some decent damage there. Red smites in, both halves the Q. Good barrel hits though, and a kick puts him out. That Q, does he have oranges? Does he have a way to keep himself alive? With Core JJ coming around, he'll stay alive, but Clid's still sitting on his ward. Khan coming by as well, steals a Gangplank gold. This might be a fight.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a red buff steal at the very least. Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Teddy grabs it.
Both arrows hit the red buff at the same time, and Teddy's the one with the extra damage.
And this ties into what we were talking about. Look at all the vision towards the bot side of the map, where they're just being suffocated out. The red buff was stolen away, everything is being denied from Team Liquid, and this is the kind of calculated plays that we were talking about. SKT just continuing to push even further and further. Slow and steady is how they win this race.
And again, next area for them to focus on is this Baron River. Clearing out all the Team Liquid vision right now. Another attempt at a steal here, but SK Telecom get the Scuttle Crab to boot.
Midwave pushed in, they can walk right back for more ward control. Most sweepers on cooldown, most control wards now out of the inventory, so it will be one last sort of gain of resources. Put them back in, put the wards back down. You can see those red lights all pip up at the bottom right of your screen in their inventories. They're ready to go and claim this territory.
All right, the little hope for Team Liquid is trying to get a big play and a mistake from SK Telecom around the Baron. All-in-ing with the AoE from the Jarvan Cataclysm, the ultimate from Impact, and barrel chains.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that even though they are much weaker than SKT, they still have a lot of their core itemization completed. I do wonder if Impact is going to go for the Infinity Edge route, get that crit in, the potential late-game scaling turnaround. We saw from Zoom in the LPL playoffs what you can do with the late-game gangplank and a big crit. So there are still potential options. It's just a matter of Team Liquid could hold out long enough.
Meanwhile, here comes the 2-on-1 to the bottom lane, but with the Akali Stone already burned, it's a very easy roam warp out, and Jensen trades 1 ult for 2, but Corey burns his, so that's an equal trade of resources, but still its health bar's low. Jensen at half, and SKT, as they claim more of the jungle, can look back towards that river and that Baron.
Yep, only your first activation of the Akali ult is going to be able to stop that. Second one is the execute damage. Jensen knows this, and he's able to properly use the Rise ultimate. Doublelift taking a big chunk in the mid lane, though, while SK Telecom two-man the Baron with double mountains.
Don't even need the cliffs to do it, but they knocked in the wards and head over now as well. And what possible hope do Team Liquid have? It's Fog of War the whole way through, and they know they've got to battle with Smite and Rend, and it seems so unlikely. Khan running by as well, and Team Liquid going to walk their way over. Can they even join in time? Xmithie goes right away, has a possibility. Gangplank ult spots them. He's going to try for the attempt, but knocked out by Mata. Well played there. No chance for a steal. Baron and SKT, and they pull Mata right on back. Now, will there be a re-engage? This Khan, he has Verisult. He can get that one. He can get the CC and start the fight out. He's going to find it on a double up. Pulls him to safety, flashing away. Corday stays alive, but it will be a kill. Onto Xmithie, can't even pop the Cataclysm. A route towards Impact. He's running away as well. Burns his own flash. There's a slow out of Faker. Here comes Gallia for round 2. A kick actually brings Corday out of that play, and a trade kill actually does come in for TL as Impact runs for the hills, tries to stay alive. Faker will soon be in range. The barrel slow is well timed, and maybe Impact finds his way to run out of this one. A 1-for-1, but Baron still on the squad. Again, double if saved from that stun, and it will be a push continuing. Now Impact goes for the second round. Over the wall goes Faker. That was a well-played shot, and knocks him down. An unstoppable Akali 5-0-3.
Beautiful play from SKT. The Baron setup was clean. There was full vision denial. Team Liquid had no way of closing the gap between them and the Baron, and SKT are continuing the dive.
And under the turret, core goes down now as well. The 3v1 looks pretty good there. Now the quick Zonia's Hourglass as Khan tries to build some space. Jumps over the wall, flashes, doesn't matter. He's going to get to safety, gets 400 health back.
And Faker, after taking down Impact over there in their own jungle, moves to bottom side. He has Baron buff as well, pushing up those minions. They should be able to get the bottom turret in addition, while everyone else goes for the reset.
Bit of discretion there. Faker could have chosen to put a few more autos in, but didn't want to risk getting caught out. I think it's a smart choice. You got Flash and the ulti available, or not quite the ulti, but at least the Flash for Xmithie to find a knock-up, and instead takes the Krugs. We watch that fight over the Baron once again.
And the thing is, for Team Liquid, this is kind of the one last hope that they're looking for, a big 5v5 fight around the Baron, but because of how much vision is denied by SKT, they have no clear path in. Doublelift ends up missing his ultimate, Xmithie can't find an avenue to start the fight, and with SKT very quickly taking down the Baron with the double mountain, they then immediately converge on the rest of Team Liquid, and it's just a matter of chasing the units down, and while it was an extended fight, they ultimately get exactly what they want. The Baron, the towers, and all the kills they could ask for.
And now it's an 8,000 gold lead with Triple Mountain, and Baron still on for 80 seconds, means they can take a lot of Team Liquid's base if they ever get the chance to do so. And they got a lot of chance in this game. SKT definitely in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, and especially Teddy. Look at that 4-level lead that has resulted from the bottom lane focus of Clid, getting the counter gank and then repeat tower dive. All of that just snowballed so effectively for this team, and has set them up to finish off this game.
And this is a really important win for SKT as well. Finishing the first round robin, they wanted to be in a position where they could end in third and potentially challenge for those top 2 spots. And getting a win against TL is definitely a big confidence boost that they need.
Well, Flashless Khan could be a target. Doesn't have a good way out of this one. And now Gallia shows up. Faker as well. Do they have the damage output? Is Clid also in this play? And look at the damage output coming across. Trying to find something to do. Guardian Angel still there. The dunk comes in, but not going to find a kill. Mata dead makes it a second kill for Team Liquid, but Faker could find his own second. Gets a third. third thanks to Clid, and they're just cleaning up now. That's the ace. That's a ton of kills for SKT, and they can lock it right into the base.
Oh, it's fun to see Faker on the international stage again. 8-0-5 Akali finishes off Team Liquid, and now all that's left are the base structures.
And these structures don't regen too fast, and they can't run away. There's no Tom Kent to grab them out. And this is SKT closing this one out. 31 minutes, looking angry after that defeat yesterday night. And SKT in third place right now, 3-2 to end the first round robin.